Ancient Assyrian and Aramean Dynamics in the Near East. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's your name here, ready to take you on a journey into the fascinating world of ancient historical dynamics. Today we're diving deep into the geopolitical and cultural interactions between the formidable Assyrian Empire and the intriguing Aramean kingdoms. Have you ever wondered how these civilizations influenced and transformed the ancient Near East? Well, strap in, because we're about to explore some intense historical narratives and unearth some incredible facts. Let's set the stage with some historical context. We're in the reign of Ashur-Nasir-pal II, one of the most aggressive and tactically brilliant kings of the Neo-Assyrian Empire. His reign, from 883 to 859 BC, marked a turning point, pushing the empire's borders to unprecedented extents and reshaping the political landscape of Mesopotamia. Ashur-Nasir-pal II wasn't just about expansion for expansion's sake. His military campaigns were not only about conquering lands, but also about asserting dominance over trade routes and strategic locations, such as the Bizamni region. This area was particularly crucial because it acted as a buffer zone against the ever-evolving power dynamics of the Aramean tribes. Now, speaking of the Arameans, these folks were pretty remarkable in their own right. Did you know most scholars pin their emergence to around the 13th century BC? The Arameans were semi-nomadic people, gradually establishing small yet significant states across the Fertile Crescent, flexing their political muscles during brief episodes when Assyrian power waned. Among these was the kingdom of Bizamni, notorious for its strategic and cultural value. But it wasn't always smooth sailing. Ashur-Nasir-pal II saw to that by quelling resistance, capturing cities like Sinabu and Tidu, and repurposing them for Assyrian interests. It's quite the geopolitical chess game. Let's shift gears and talk about Samal, another noteworthy Aramean kingdom. Samal was quite special because, unlike many other small kingdoms, it managed to maintain a good measure of autonomy even as the Assyrian Empire expanded. This was largely due to clever diplomacy and the ruler's adeptness at switching alliances when needed. Take Kilamua, for instance, a ruler with quite the story. He leveraged Phoenician as a prestige language in his inscriptions to document his clever dealings, including payments to Assyria for military protection. His reign, from roughly 840 to 8810 BC, was marked by cunning maneuvers that kept Samal independent longer than most neighboring states. Now let's not ignore the westward currents, where Armenian culture was bubbling with its unique pantheon and mythos. By the time the Armenians came under the cultural influence of Zoroastrianism, the borrowed deities like Aramazd had evolved, reflecting a syncretism fascinating to historians. Aramazd wasn't just a recycled Ahura Mazda. He was celebrated as the progenitor of gods, weaving Armenian mythos with Persian cosmology. The Armenians added their flavor into the mix. You had gods like Areg, associated with the sun, or Astik, a goddess of beauty-proof, that ancient societies often intermingled through trade routes, wars, and shared their stories, leaving a blended cultural legacy that's tough to disentangle today. Okay, so let's wrap up what we've learned today. The Assyrians, with their military might and administrative prowess, weren't just conquerors. They were cultural powerhouses influencing every tribe or kingdom they touched. They had like the Arameans and eventually the Armenians. But these smaller cultures weren't just passive players. They adapted, survived, and left their marks on the grand tapestry of history. Whether you find yourself marveling at the strategic brilliance of rulers like Ashur-Nasir-pal or the cultural resilience of the Arameans and Armenians, it's clear these ancient interactions hold lessons still relevant today. How cool is that? Before you bounce, I'd love to hear from you. Which aspect of ancient history fascinates you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to stay updated on all my adventures into the past. Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.